later. But that being said, that just allows everybody to have a certain distinct meta. And I think, from what we did, okay, I'm not as surprised with what bans that we're seeing here. Murad as well as Superman, of course. Xenial, almost always going to be a first pick once left open. So I think we're just gonna see almost the same picks from earlier. Just a few shakeups, probably like this L'Oreal, like this Irie, just pretty much what's in the meta for other regions. Because that's what I like about Philippines in a way. These guys, they learn from the best, and they manage to pick up whatever they can from international and even local.
And that's a good thing. And the better thing is they can run with it, right? They're not just
Right.
like, oh, well, nobody uses these heroes in Valor series now because they have this and this, so we might as well run like lower tier. They're like, no, they use this, and we know this is strong. So what works well with this pickup? We see Alice and Crash about to come out. I hope those are locked in, because those are some really cool playmakers. Yes!
Ooh.
Although, this blue side comp is looking really scary.
I'd have to agree with you. I mean, even with these picks from the red side, like L'Oreal, and there's just a lot of potential team fight control coming in from the red side with this Alice as well as the Crash. But considering that the blue side at the same time running almost double supports, but wow, if this is going to be a lot, okay. I was wondering if they were going to lock in that Malak, but still, pretty strong this other composition that they have. There's definitely going to be a lot of focus on this Zephyrus as well as Violet, with compliments coming from the Xenial, Tognar, and the Arthur to an extent. So I think at this point, it's very clear that for the red team, at the end of the day, who they want to get in this fight right off the bat, potentially maybe the Violet as well as the Zephyrus, just so that the blue side loses out on these key earlier on. So let's have to see if red team can execute based on those win conditions.
For a second there, Arctic, I was really excited because Arthur had Disrupt locked in and he wasn't changing it for the last few seconds. So I thought we were going to see some crazy, like, level 2 tower dive 5-man in the bot lane. I was so ready for it, but unfortunately, we're not going to see that. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see some good games here, especially between these two teams.
Oh, without a doubt.
I'm just ready to go. Last game set a really high bar for excitement, and I am expecting it to be very similar here. But let's talk a little bit about this Violet pickup, because we don't always see marksmen here in
Right.
They're so squishy, they're so unreliable, supposedly. So what are they going to have to do to adjust to this?
Well, what I like about this competition with the Violet, though, is that, I mean, ideally, like I mentioned, with this Violet, you ideally want her to kite around in these team fights, not allow any of these people from the blue side to get onto this particular carry. But considering the composition that the red side has, like the Xenial, the Zephyrus, the Chognar, the Arthur, all 4 of these heroes pretty much grant some sort of either crowd control or just pretty much all in to make sure that nobody can get onto this Violet. So, like I mentioned, it's just very straightforward win condition that they have. So I'm interested in seeing, based on, it's very classic, very textbook. So I'd love to see if they could execute to the T.
Yeah, and on top of that, like you mentioned, there's a lot of dive, there's a lot of appeal there with the Chognar ultimate, going to be able to keep Violet from being CC'd. So I think that's a really smart pickup.
Right.
I've kind of been wondering if people have been sleeping on Marksman, in that they don't always pair it with something that goes well. Like Alice, I think, goes really well with Marksman because she has a lot of peel and a lot of movement abilities there. On top of like Hissy Fit and stuff to get silences down, to peel with that, and stuff like Chognar, because it has those CC cleanses, that CC immunity. So we'll see if this is the beginning of something beautiful here as we look to this level 1. Do you think it's going to be as bloody as last time?
Oh man, you know what? Given what we have from both sides, I mean, either side could actually go for an aggressive invade, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised. But looking at where everybody's on the map right now, it looks like they're gonna play it a bit more safer here. They don't want to go for any cheeky invades anytime soon, so they're gonna take the safer route here, these guys.
I think in a way that's smart after seeing what happened last game when Nova just kind of took hold in that level 1. They don't want to risk that happening again, because they had the timers for the buffs, they had the controls for the buffs, and really it was kind of brutal, and XTW didn't have a whole lot they could do to stop it. But this time, no such early lead.
Well, speaking of cheeky invades here, looking up towards the top side, we are seeing Arthur lingering towards this blue side here. We'll get caught up by the L'Oreal though, so I think that will be enough to sway him away. Oh no. Okay, he'll make it out just fine.
Yeah, he's good.
But
Was,
I mean,
I think that was the most stressed I've ever been about seeing someone walking in my life. You know, it's just like, oh god, he's walking away. Will he walk fast enough? Waddle faster, Arthur. Waddle. And that's the beauty of early game.
Yeah, luckily for Arthur though, he does have his own form of movement speed that he could give to himself, so he's okay. But are we going to see potential action here? Because we're seeing a lot of members from the red side might potentially go for a dive. It's risky though. They aren't all at level 4 yet, wherein things would be all the more potent.
I'm assuming they're trying to put pressure here on the Abyssal Dragon, but they have man advantage at this point, but not for long. Because if you look at blue side here, they're going to be much faster to get all to the Abyssal Dragon than red/left side. Oh god, this is so confusing, Arctic. All right, let's just do team names. Dominus versus ZodiaC.
There you go. Yeah, let's just keep ourselves.
This will help.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then again, I mean, at the same time, I'd say red team definitely in a better position if they do want to go for this Abyssal, because they do have the Signal. So long as Signal could make sure that he avoids any form of crowd control that would otherwise cancel his ultimate from this Irie, then I'd say numbers would definitely look better towards them. But then again, it's interesting, because if you're going to look at things from both sides, everybody's been much more safer. This is a completely different pace of a game from what we saw earlier. But looks like these guys from the red side still lingering towards this bottom side, looking for a pick-off before, probably wanting to go for a pick-off first before transitioning to Abyssal.
Yeah, Dominus trying to aggress here, but it looks like the response from ZodiaC is going to be to just start the Abyssal Dragon. They want to force a fight here. They know they have the man advantage for now until Xenial uses the ultimate, but it's on cooldown. So they should be able to take this Abyssal Dragon fairly safely. They do have the punish up. They're able to take it, but the fight breaks out, and it looks like the ultimates are going far and wide. They've gotten a kill so far. Z-Crit has gone down, but the fight is not yet over. The health bars are dropping so low, but no one's dying just yet. Moon Omega going to be the second fatality here, and no deaths are going to follow. It looks like it was a 3-for-1 overall. Quite the bloody fight here.
It was indeed bloody, all in favor of the blue side. And what's interesting is that Moon, a little bit in too late for that party, wasn't able to have a strong an impact as one would probably expect, especially with a Signal. So, but then again, I mean, if you're going to look at the composition that red side, oh wait, I'm getting confused again, blue side rather, has, there are a lot of ways that they could have controlled that fight, especially when it's that clumped in towards Abyssal. Just grants the Alice all the more easier access to landing that crowd control on pretty much more than one member. So given the all-in composition that the red side has especially. So I think that's something that the red side has to look out for within these next few fights, not wanting to fight in these really close quarters places where the L'Oreal, the Irie, the Alice, well, almost everybody on this composition thrives in close quarters coming in from the blue side. So I think that's something they have to be really wary about.
Yeah, and it looks like so far so good on that front. You know, they had a little bit of a problem earlier, and it looks like Chognar is having a bigger one now, but they're going to be fine for the time being. But this early game should really ideally be in favor of ZodiaC, because Violet doesn't do a whole lot early, right? She just kind of pokes, and then she has nothing, and she's like, okay, cool. Let me wait for Tactical Fire, because I don't do any damage yet. But in the late game, Violet could like two-shot with Tactical Fire, so they're kind of on a timer here for ZodiaC. They need to win before the Violet scales up, and it looks like the Abyssal Dragon is going to be their drug of choice for that.
Yep, and once again, red side not quite in the position. Could probably go for a steal. That won't be the case, though.
That was a bad idea to engage there. The first death is going down onto Arthur this fight. That was just... You were outnumbered. You don't want to go in there, right?
Exactly. I mean, I would have understood maybe if he was running Punish, but the fact that they're running heals, if I'm not mistaken, then there's just there's just a very slim chance that you'll be able to get a steal on that Abyssal. So just pretty much had no business being in that pit at that moment, just considering the numbers that the blue side had. So very questionable positioning there, or even a call for that matter. I feel like they should have just looked for other opportunities across the map, because that was pretty much a good on Abyssal Dragon take for blue side.
Absolutely. Red.
Looks like they're...
I think
Oh.
ZodiaC got it, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We're good. We're figuring things out, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologize, but colors are apparently not our strong suit. We can count, though. We can read numbers, and that's really all you need to expect from us. Hopefully, our lack of color coordination will not be a problem. You don't have to see us. You don't have to see me wearing, let's say, a neon pink shirt and neon orange shorts. That level of color coordination will not be something we'll subject you to. I'm not actually wearing that, in case anyone's concerned for my mental well-being and fashion sense. As we see the Spirit Sentinel being tentatively taken there by ZodiaC, they are going to pick it up. They're doing pretty well in this early game. You know, almost a 2K lead, so nowhere near as dominant as Nova's last game, but they have the 2 Abyssal Dragons, which means there's up in experience, generally speaking. But it's not really anything that you can rely on so far.
Right. And I think at this point, what Red... Oh, it's going to be a fight.
Maybe you can rely on this kill, though. It looks like the first one going to be going down. No one's died yet, and Zekrid's going to be the first one to fall. ZodiaC got the bad end of that fight first on, but it looks like they're going to win in the end. Oh my god, the ace coming out. Quad kill, what? It's 7 minutes in, guys. Calm down.
Man, like I mentioned, they want to avoid fighting in those close quarters, and the L'Oreal just managing to get the max out of her kit there, and just an ace, and they're getting a lot of value out of this, and just like that, probably go for a second one. Looks like they're not going to push it for now, but that was a messy fight there for the red team. Again, even with the Xenial coming in with the heal, just the overall damage output coming out from the blue side was just too much for them to deal with.
Yeah. Zekrid was the first one to go down, and he was the sacrificial lamb there for ZodiaC. So good on him for being able to say, all right, if I die here, it's fine if L'Oreal pops off. And she did. She really just blew away the enemy team. Oh no, ZodiaC's about to get picked off 2v5. The first target is going to be that Alice. She dies and pops the hissy fit, keeping Kresh a little bit safe there. But what is going to happen off that pick? Because kills are cool, right? They're fun, but they don't mean anything if you don't get anything off them.
Hopefully they can find something, though. I mean, this Crush, though, making sure that he has that bot turret well defended is not going to be long of this world, though. Violet trying to get a few hits on it, going to try to take it down. Looks like will succeed. Roborov is making his way towards the spot lane, though. Wonder if they're going to try to go for it. Looks like just going to sway. Oh!
They just hit 11. Zekrid's going in for the engage, but they're not going to dive in just yet. Wild and Free saying, we'll let him go for now. We've got time.
Yeah, and I mean, just still, given the lead that the blue side has, I'd still say it's pretty sizable.
Oh, no. Zerf about to get caught out behind enemy lines there, and ZodiaC's going to go in, try and get the second kill there onto that Violet, but not quite able to just yet, but it looks like they want to go for a dive. Oh no, they're going to catch out the Chognar. The stun missing though from Alice. They're just going to take down this wave, try and make sure they can get this Violet. They get the engage down, but is it going to be enough? They're diving under the tower at this point. Violet goes down, and the Chognar is still alive. Xenial went in, got the heal, got the damage reduction, but it wasn't enough. And they're going to disengage and try and take this outer tower.
Oh no, that was quite the interesting takedown coming. And again, they know that they're ahead, plus they have okay, meanwhile Furpito, okay, just gonna dash his way out of there. But yeah, as I was saying, I like that given that the lead that they have, they know they could go for tower dives, especially on the Violet, who's a bit more of a squishier target. Looks like they're gonna get their 4th Abyssal of the game. Oh my goodness.
This is disgusting. Why can my teams never have this coordination? Come on. This is bull. I know they're a pre-made, but it's so hard being Xenial and trying to solo the Abyssal. Zephys has a better time of it, so I've been kind of one-tricking him, but I wish I had ZodiaC as my teams in solo queue, because I guarantee I'd be doing much better. Zerf19 going in for a poorly destined engage. He's going to get caught out and killed thanks to that hissy fit. Chognar just dropping a little bit of poke and backing out.
Weren't quite on the same page there. And oh, are they gonna go for a Dark Slayer? Because that would just be massive for them, and that's just gonna be a tall order for the opposite side to deal with at this point. All 5 members are making their way, and it looks like there's just nobody that's gonna contest this. And I think this might be the shove that finishes the game, depending if they do try to go for it. I mean,
yeah, because we were talking, you know, Violet will scale up eventually, right?
Right.
But if you have a almost 6K lead at 11 minutes, suddenly scaling is a lot less attractive of an option because you're losing fights actively instead of just kind of eking out a loss or maybe getting a kill. You're just getting stomped at this point, and it's a big concern for them.
I think that's the tricky point right here with this composition. Since they do want to try to scale up, even though by the minutes they might be in, by AOV standards at least, would be considered late game, but because of how behind they are, even though they're technically by the minutes in the late game, in terms of itemization, they're not quite there yet, and that's just going to be a massive detriment to them. And if anything, they're just forced into this defensive position into much more responsive. But oh no, is this going to be the last fight?
High ground tower is taken. The hissy fit goes out, but where will the kills land? It looks like they'll all land on the Dominus Knights. 2 down, 3 down. It looks like it's going to be 4. Maybe the ace is going to come out. This should be the end of the game if they're able to get this pick. They take him out. They get the ace. The triple kill onto Zekrit, and that will be the game. Dominus Knights unfortunately falling down from the quad kill of Zekrit there.